Hey, remember to switch the microphone back on. Hello, good evening. How are we all today? We've been fiddling with the cameras and lights and goodness knows what, and I feel like I'm sat in the wrong place. I should be there. If I hang off the edge of my desk, I'm actually centre of the screen. Goodness knows what's occurring. How is everybody today? Hi, Susan. And nice to have you with us. So today, I have no idea what I'm doing, but because it's winter, I've pulled out this stamp here. I thought we could use the little snowman. I also have the mugs that go along with this collection and the colour cube, and I thought we could maybe have a little look at some of the winter colour palettes and hope that that inspires some form of inspiration, because I'm needing inspired. So without further ado, I will swizzle you around because you don't need to look at my face. Then I can get myself sat properly at my desk instead of, being way off to the side. So we'll do this and we're all good. Hello, Tracy. How are you today? Right. Okay, so I treated myself. So look at this. All sorts of stuff going on my desk here. I treated myself to the fabulous colour cubes. I have done, hello Pippa, I've done a review on my channel, and I have also started the colour cube challenge again, but they do have seasonal cards, so I thought we could pick one, and at least that will give us a starting point so we know what we're doing. That's the plan anyway. That feels a bit dull. What have we got? Ooh, that's just as dull. I quite like the touch of pink. Right, okay, very monochrome. Not feeling particularly inspired so far. That feels too autumnal. Possibly. Yeah. Yes, actually I quite like that. I quite like the glow of that one. That one's a possibility. Check her tartan scarf out. Fully approve of that. That's quite nice and icy, but it's very monochromatic. Yeah. Oh, I quite like that one. Oh, that one's my favourite so far, actually. We've got the blues and then that pop of lime green. Hi, Alison. That feels too autumnal. That feels too... Oh, I like that. Let's go with that one. I like that one. Oh, and I had pulled out these ones, and look, it's like it was meant to be. That's fab. Is there any way I could, so have a little stamp there. Is there any way that we could have the, make it look like he's dunking it into the, do you know what I mean? Make it look like he's dunking it into the... Oh, that's the cat trying to get in, honestly. What do you think? Is that a good idea or is that a ridiculous idea? Let's get this stamped first. Oh, sorry, I need to let my cat in. You bored? Right. I hadn't intended to do the cup. I intended to do the snowman. But now I'm kind of... Hi, Arwen. How are you? I'm kind of wondering if we can make it look like the snowman. It means he's floating in the middle of the air, though. Decisions. Let's just stick with the snowman. Right. Yeah, let's just do that. I can't decide. How much snow did I get? We didn't get too much. There's a little bit, but it didn't sort of sit on the ground. Where's all my stamp blocks? Sorry, I'm very unprepared. Oh, here's a stamp block. That's fortuitous. It's with the stamp from last week. Hello. You're not late, Lucy. We've only just started. Hi, Dominique. Are we all good? Are you coming in or out, Cat? Because it's freezing with the door open. Right. Let's have a little look at what's occurring. That the colour combo we're going for. I think that's quite cute. So we can go for like all the blues and things in the background and then give him a little yellow scarf. Okay. And cat wants back out again. Apologise for that. Okay. Let's just get something down and hope for the best. So I'm going to put that there. And then he needs to be toasting it on something. Just to say, I will, once I have finished my live tonight, I will be going onto the website and adding a Black Friday code. So if there's anything you're fancying, just either check the emails or wait till I put something out, because I will have I'm going to make some mystery bundles up. I don't know if anyone fancies mystery bundles, but you're getting them anyway. I'm going to do some mystery bundles that are like crazy value, and I am going to put a discount code on the like whole page, which I think will be fun. Apart from workshops, no discount code on the workshops. We've only got 5 spaces left in the workshop. It's crazy. I've overlaid about 3 stamps there to make it look like a fire, and then I'm going to like put little marshmallows behind them. I realised that that wouldn't happen in real life, and I can't be bothered doing proper masking, so I'm just going to do it like this. Hi, Deb. Well, it's nice to have you for a little bit, Deb. That's fabulous. Great to see you. Oh, and I have to say, I'm not going to be around next Monday because we are going to Glasgow. Well, we're going to Glasgow. I don't know why I haven't blocked that off, because we are going to Glasgow to see Hamilton, and then we are going to go to Edinburgh, because Edinburgh has the we were going to Glasgow anyway to see Hamilton with some friends, and like my daughter loves Hamilton. Can you imagine having marshmallows that close to the fire? That would be a little bit. Yep, I have heating in my little studio. I've got a little oil heater, and it's kind of, it sits on low all the time, because obviously all my art supplies are down here and I don't want to like ruin them by not having anything on them. That made no sense whatsoever. If I had no heating on at all, the temperatures would get too low, and we would be in trouble. I would damage my supplies. Right, I'm just going to do a little bit of, now, what have I got this side? I'm going to have to be careful with the old alcohol markers. Let's hope I don't ruin what's behind there. I'm just going to do a little bit of a kind of underpainting to this, not much. We could do, I might do the sky with pastels. So where is it? In this page, where did I do it? This one here. So I did that in my recent YouTube video, and I did that sky with pastels. I think that looks pretty cool. So we could maybe choose similar colours and do the sky like that. And then plus there's that sort of misty look there that we could possibly copy. So I'm just going to put a few little shades in where there would be shades. And then we'll try building up a sky, and we'll just see what occurs. And then we'll get, let's get a very pale yellow for this color here. Yeah, so as I was saying, we were going to, because my daughter loves Hamilton. As many of you know, she's homeschooled, and Hamilton is has been in her obsession for quite some time. Sorry, I keep sticking my face in the camera. Let's get closer to the project. And she's been studying Hamilton on her own. Anyway, it's coming to Glasgow, so we're going to see it. And then I realised that in Edinburgh, they've got, you know, the virtual Van Gogh thing. So they've got that on. So I was asking hubby, can we Can we go across and watch, can I go and see the Van Gogh thing? Neither of them are interested, so I think they're going to go to the cinema. And I am going to go to the Van Gogh thing. So that's the, I'm just basting in. I have to say that basting makes such a huge difference when it comes to colouring. Just having a layer of colour of something down, whatever medium that you choose to use, it makes a huge difference to the overall look. And I'm loving doing that. But lots of artists doing underpainting. And then if you look at like the colouring trends and colour talk and things like that, a lot of colourists use that technique as well. So I do think it is worth doing. Right, let's have a look at this picture, because actually they kind of got the white there. Oh, that's the snow. And then they've got this grey blue. So let's go for that grey blue in the background. Pastels have become my #1 favourite thing this year, I think. So I'm going to get this blue. I think I've got a little bit of green on here. Just cleaning that up. It doesn't normally transfer too much, so. Right. So I'm going to get a little bit of blue. And I've just realised, let's hope I've got an eraser in one of these drawers. I've just realised that I've been doing a lot of drawing past couple of days. It's been nice. Trouble is, it's all really portrait. It's all really portrait-y type of stuff. I think it might be a bit different to what people are used to me doing. So I'm not sure if it'll be stamps or not. But because I've been doing lots of drawing, my pencil case is up in the house. And I'm going to need an eraser for this technique. So let's just hope we get there okay. Let's hope. Yeah, you can see my thing was a bit dirty because we've got a bit of a paler blue here, which is good. So I am just going to base this colour in. So we've got the blue. So we've got these kind of blues here. I'm not going to stick rigidly to this palette, I don't think. I think it was just a starting point to get me started. And then let's get some of these greys in. We'll build up the blues and greys. And then we'll have to emphasize the snow again. Sorry, gone into a bit of a zone now. Oh, I think that's quite cute. I think it's quite cute when all's said and done. These are going to have to be yellow marshmallows, I think. Never mind. I'm going to bring some of this darker blue in because there is darker blue in the thing. Why not? Let's just punch up the colour a little bit. Plus we'll need it for the contrast to see the snow. It's looking really cool. Boom, boom, tsh. I like it, thank you. Pun is pardoned. Thank you, Pippa. Oh, it's actually quite cute, isn't it? It's turning out all right. I do like the cards for that. They're a great way of just at least giving yourself a starting point. Right, I think once we've got this in, he also needs, you'll need a little bit of shadow underneath here. We do need this to look more white because we want it to look snowy, but we can bring white of gel pens and whatnots into that. Okay. Right, I'm going to see if I have an eraser. Do I have an eraser? Or are they all in my pencil case? Okay.
You muted it.
Sound is fixed. Can you get me my grey pencil case? Thank you. It's somewhere in the bedroom, I think. Sorry. Sound should be back. Is sound back? Yeah, so what I think I was talking about the pastels. These aren't as readily available now. But I think I'll be gradually investing in pan pastels, but I'm just using these ones because these are the ones that I have. But to be honest, I think anything that you get will be suitable. I've just sent hubby to go get my pencil case, so I've got my proper erasers, because this is the one good thing about pastels as well. It's like you don't have to worry, like that's kind of gone onto this and I don't want it, but it's so easily erased. But I've got my detail eraser in that one, so. Can't wait for you. Thank you. Okay. Good evening, Kay. How are you? Right, I'm just going to grab my spray. So when you're working with pastels, you do need a fixative. This is just the one. No, I accidentally knocked my mouse with my arm and it hit the sound. Actually, I've just realised I've got blue on her hat. Okay. So I'm just going to seal this. I might have to open my door for a little minute because I'm trying to do it really lightly so I don't gas myself. But normally I kind of spray it slightly outside and then leave the room for a bit. Right, let's build up some of the details in the actual snow person. So we've got those nice yellows, so we need some of those. I'm also going to pull in, what have we got? None of these blues are particularly, maybe just use that one and this one. Okay. We also might have to sneak a bit of orange in because of the flames. Oh, it's nice to have you here, Kay. I'm here every Monday, except from next Monday. Next Monday, I'm off to go see Hamilton. Well, actually, I'll be seeing Hamilton on the Thursday. We'll be sort of heading back up the road from Edinburgh next Monday. So that's the plan for. That's the plan. I'm going to build this up with pencils a little bit, and then I might come in with my acrylic markers. I really got into mix. Oh, that's very neon. That is not what I want. Right, let's just take you out of the equation and go back across with this pencil. How are you, Kay? What have you been up to? Okay. Sorry, I'm not doing a very good job of the live today. I'm just like literally like stopping talking. I've gone into color mode. This is the cool thing. I talked earlier about like basting your work, and sometimes coloring can take forever, and I still enjoy getting lost in coloring, but because you've put like a layer of color down, you don't need to spend as long like layering up your pencils or layering up your markers. It just depends what you've put down first. In this case, I've put alcohol marker down first, and now I'm layering up the pencils over it. But you just don't have to spend as long doing that, colouring your piece, if you've kind of basted first. So I think it's definitely well worth doing. Definitely, it's not, I'm not sure it's quite this yellow. I think we've gone off. Never mind. It was a starting point. quite often when it comes to crafting, it's just about giving ourselves a, because I had literally left it till last minute and was running down to the studio thinking, help, what am I actually going to do tonight? So yeah, I might get a bit of texture in this with the acrylic markers in a bit. We'll just see how we go for just now. Also, we're going to use some splatters for snow. Right. I'm going to just give, even if you're colouring something white, there is still shades and tones, and especially in white and in snow. I'm about to put yellow in it, but you know, we all said be careful about yellow snow, but especially with snow, it's very reflective. So it will sort of take the colours from round about and it will be in there. So it is kind of, don't just paint your snow people white. Well, you can if you want, but if you want, it's up to you. It's your colouring. But if you're wanting it to have sort of added dimension, shadows is one of your biggest tips when it comes to, you know, getting things looking more 3D and more realistic. Now, there's going to be a fire here where once we get that coloured in. So let's get rid of that pencil. So we're going to have a little bit of reflection of that. So I'm going to bring some yellow in over here. Because you will be getting that glow from the little campfire that we've got going on. I'm going to bring some of that blue down as well. Not sure how long a campfire would last in the snow, but hey ho. It's fantasy land. Anything's possible in a fantasy land. I'll base that down with a bit of white. Right, I'm going to bring in, I'm just actually going to bring that across the tummy a bit more as well. Okay. And I also want to emphasize the horizon line because right now he's floating. I keep going from between he and she. So we need to add a little bit of a horizon line in and just give some of these elements a little bit of shadow and shade. We could actually bring a grey in, couldn't we? Because we've got grey from there. What snow? You haven't seen any for years now. I wish I could say the same. I'm bringing a bit of pink as well, and I am going to actually bring in some oranges. I know it's not in the card, but I think it would be weird to have the flames just yellow. Some of the other inspirations had orange in it, didn't it? So I think we're all good. Right, let's bring in a bit of this grey as well. Okay, that's getting there. That yellow of the scarf and things looks a lot less neon in real life. We've got maximum lightage here. Honestly, I'm surrounded by about 5 different lights. Okay. We've got a ways to go. Let's just say that. Right, let's give him some bright blue buttons. And then we can have some little rosy cheeks. Oh, little cute patootie. Okay. Oh, very cute. Might actually bring some of that pink into the marshmallows. We're just going completely off piece now from our inspiration, but it's fine. They're not meant to be like you have to do this. It's meant to be just sources of inspiration. I'm just going to bring bits of pink into the snow as well, because I don't know, I like my whites, especially snow, to look really reflective. And anything that goes wrong I can fix with acrylic markers. Which I will do in a minute. Where do you live that you've not seen snow, Kay? I thought most of the UK got it. Yeah, I might blend that out better with acrylic markers. We'll get a softer look. Fear not. Right, let's get these flames sorted. I'm going to go in with like a bright bit in the centre. You need more vegan marshmallows. Oh, we could have a little bit of pink right in the centre. It's great they're gradually doing more and more vegan food. I'm not vegan, but I appreciate vegan food because I am dairy free. So I do like it when there's an option. Right, I may have to come in with my, because I've completely overstamped all of those things. Some of those black lines are completely unnecessary. So we can either fix that with a gel pen or with some acrylic markers. I love acrylic markers. They're just amazing for fixing anything. I am also just going to bring a little bit of orange over here, because there would be a reflection there. And then there would also be a little bit of a glow actually on the snow itself. So let's get that in there. I love playing with light. Yeah, and then there'll be a wee bit there. Oh, that is so cute. I love it. You're in Peterborough. If you get it, it's a couple of flakes. Yeah, do you know what? In Inverness, we don't get a huge amount of snow. We get bits, but we kind of have our own little mini weather. I don't know. If husband's watching, he can explain. His grandfather was a meteorologist. But it's part of the reason that his grandfather moved to Inverness was because we do kind of get less snow. It's something to do with like the way we're situated. We're sort of like a bit lower and we're surrounded by mountains. And we've also got the salt off the firth and stuff like that. So even if we get snow, it doesn't last. So just going to put a wee bit of orange on the face. Just getting carried away now, sticking orange everywhere. And we could put a little bit of an orange. Actually, maybe we'll start with yellow. Like a glow around the fire. That's cool. Definitely need to build up the shadow a bit more though. So let's, oh, that's very dark. It's definitely building up. But he does need to look like he's sat on something. Do, do, do. Sorry, I've gone into a zone. I'm forgetting to talk. Does anyone else here like musicals? So anyone been to see Wicked yet? We're also going to see Wicked when we're away. I'm desperate to see it, and I'm trying really hard not to get any spoil. I mean, I kind of roughly, I've never seen the musical, but I do sort of roughly know the storyline of what's going to occur. But I don't want to see all the actual clips, and people seem to be like going into the cinema and recording clips and sticking them online. It's really doing my head in because I don't want to see it too much. Oh, that's looking all right, isn't it? It's getting there. Right, let's add a little bit of colour to the marshmallows. And then I think we just need to sort of create a little bit of a snow effect. Just going gung-ho with the colours now. We're adding loads that aren't actually there. Does it still look like I've started off from that point? You've only seen it. I love the sound of music though. I do love musicals. I was brought up on musicals. Love Doris Day. Do love the sound of music. And I have been to see a fair few musicals as well. Hamilton is not my favourite, I have to say. Not big a fan of it, but obviously my daughter's obsessed, so I'll enjoy it because she'll enjoy it so much. And my friends really enjoy it, but I'm looking forward to going and seeing Wicked. And I'm looking for, actually I must book my tickets. And I'm looking forward to going and see it's the virtual Van Gogh thing. They also have a Monet one on, but they're on separate days, which is a bit annoying. So I can only see one. And the day I'm going, it'll be the Van Gogh one, but I would quite like to see the Monet one as well. And then on the Monday, we might go into Edinburgh itself. See the market that's there, and also like there's a really nice art shop near the gallery as well, which actually Kezia has been wanting to go to for ages, so we'll probably do that. Right, I think that's it with regards to pencil work. We definitely need to soften some of this, and we need to make the fire look a little bit better. So I'm going to come in with my acrylic markers to fix that, and then we will see how we go. Don't cry if you see me throw these in, because it's like if I sit there and try and organise them proper colourways, we're going to be here all day. As she says, trying to do it. Because I know I've had people get very upset when they see me throw my pencils. And it's a little bit out, but never mind. You like the Rocky Horror Picture Show? Does that count? Yeah, why not? It was brilliant. You brought home a goat. Oh, I love Les Miserables. Oh, I know that word for word. I know the entire thing. My husband, he flipped, I think on the TV, I don't know whether it was the 25th anniversary, happened to be on the telly, and he just sort of flicked it on, and it was quite near the beginning, and then he was like, oh, I forgot that you know every single word. Because it's like, I do. I love that one. And Phantom. Do love a musical. Right, sorry for that. It's because of my family from down in Lancashire. Right, I don't want all of these lines, so let's erase those. Let's get rid of that nonsense. We'll gradually, it might take a few coats, but we'll get there. I'm just going to try and painterly this up a little bit, and we shall disguise we need a few of the lines, but some of them just are a bit ridiculous. We don't need them all. This is why I do love my acrylic markers, because it's like it used to take so much time masking everything. Now I don't really worry so much. I sort of just shove it on, knowing that, like, hey, it can be fixed when it's still there, which gives it a bit of shape, which is cool. But I'm not having to worry. You would love to see Phantom of the Opera. I have seen Phantom of the Opera live once, I think. And I've seen Les Miserables once. I love this because you can get in and start really smudging it all. Just soften that yellow because it's very bright. That's cool. I'm just going to knock some of this back as well. That might need to put back in, but that's all right. It looks more snowy, the fact it's paint pens anyway. while it's wet, you can sort of blend it a little bit. There we go. That's cool. I like that. And I might just do some little sort of orangey dots coming from it. Little lines and dots, just, you know, so it looks like, yeah, it looks like there's wee sparky things coming off it. What do you call those? I don't think sparky things is quite the aficionado word, but you know, flickers, flakes, I don't know. Right, I'm gonna get a pale pink. Let's fix these marshmallows up. Oh, that's better. And just kind of softens them slightly. Bit of dodgy stamping there as well, which I can cover with the acrylic marker. I suppose I could have done these marshmallows so that they were white ones, so that they just had little bits of blue reflection. That might have worked better. I suppose we still could. Should we do that? Yeah, let's bring it back to the original colour. I feel like there's too many clashing colours now. Let's find a pale blue in amongst all of this lot. There should be one. There is 60 colours. These are on a Black Friday deal, by the way. Because I know people have been asking me about these paint pens. I did put a thing in my Flying Embers. That's the word, people. Thank you so much. Yeah, I did put it on my Facebook page. Because I know lots of you have been asking me about the pens that I'm using. That's better. I think we need to stick to the original colour tones. Pink was throwing it off. I think we're all right with a little bit in the snow person, but the wee snowman, but it was just, I just felt like we had too many colours on the page. Oh, I literally love acrylic markers for that. You can fix absolutely anything and change your mind halfway through and make it work. It's fab. Yeah, that looks better. Not got too many colours fighting for each other. It wasn't even about sticking to it. It was just like, we've got too many colours fighting against each other. And also, when you're colouring, I'll tell you why that didn't work. So quite often when you're colouring, you can follow the 60, 30, 10 rule. So it's like you've got like our three main colours, and 60% of that should be made up with the one colour, which for this one is blue. Then 30% would be the secondary colour. And I think I'm going to class both the yellow and orange in that one. These are acrylic based markers, so they're a paint pen. And then 10% of a pop colour. And I think like we had the little rosy cheeks and a little bit in the snow person and the wee snowman, and I think that worked. But when we started putting it on the rest of it, it kind of lost that balance. There was just too much of the pink, you know. So we've got our main colour, our secondary colour, and then the last one. So that can be a bit of a rule of thumb when it comes to how much colour you have or how many colours you have on a page. And you'll see that this is kind of follows the same rule. You got the main colour of that kind of whitey kind of colour. The secondary colour is that bluish, and then you've got the 10% of the little pop of yellow. So that's why it started looking a little bit off. I'm just gonna soften. I'm just gonna put a little blue on that now. I don't want to completely erase what I've done. I quite like the wee bit of pink there, but I'm just going to soften it. And in the cheeks. Keep it there, we're just have it slightly softened. Oh, and we need a little bit of colour here, but we also do want the orange going into that because there would be a little bit of a reflection of the orange. So we can just bring that in. Probably prefer to do this with my pencils, but never mind. So that one can have a bit of yellow in it because it would, the fire would be reflecting on it. And let's just add the yellow here as well. Okay, and then we also need a little bit of brown in that. Thank you, Carol, in that little marshmallow stick. Cool, so cute. Right, let's get this thing looking a bit more snowy. Add some dots. Just kind of break that up a little bit so we still keep the shadow, but by adding a few white dots, we're kind of creating a little bit of texture so that we can see that he's sat on the snow. And then we shall add, he also needs a little bit of colour in his mouth. A little bit of shading in there. Oh, that is so cute. Even if I say so myself. Oh, I like it. Where did I say he needed shading? In his mouth. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do is what we did last week. If I can find my white pen. And I'm going to take back some of these black stamp lines and make them white. Okay. Make them white and a bit scribbly. I just think it makes it look a bit more wintry and also a bit more hand-drawn. Like if you were to draw something, people very rarely, I mean I do because obviously I design stamps, so I think about creating an outline and then colouring it in. It's just the way my brain works now because I was a crafter so much longer than I was an artist. But an artist doesn't normally kind of draw in the lines and then colour in. It's like they build it all up with shading and stuff like that, which we have done. We've added our shadows in through the colouring process. But then if we want, we can knock back the line work a little bit. And it looks a little bit more hand-drawn. Now, see, it already looks a bit softer. I'm keeping a few in so that you can see it because it helps with the shadow look. But it also just helps the whole thing to look a lot softer. Especially like, because it is a snow person, a little snowman. It's like you wouldn't necessarily have these black lines. So I'm just going to take these away. But you'll still see that it's his, or maybe not there. We might need to get a bit more shadow in there. But around there you can still see the arm. I'll come in with a pencil there and add a bit more shadow there because that's just that the arms disappeared because there wasn't enough shadow behind it. But therein lies the importance of shading. Because if you take away the lines, you should still be able to see how it all looks. I'm just going to keep it really scribbly and loose. I think it looks like you've sort of doodled it in then. It's almost like there is a technique called no lines colouring. It's almost like that, but almost slightly easier because you don't have to worry about trying to colour without the lines. Colour with the lines there and then remove the lines away afterwards. I'm going to deepen some of the actual, like the button ones. I'm going to emphasize the button ones, and I'm going to emphasize his little eyebrows. You can see I'm not being precise, I'm just scribbling. So see, it's not covering the lines completely, so we're still getting that sort of element of shadow on it, but it is just sort of knocking it back so it's a bit softer. I like it. What do we think? Do we prefer it with the lines or without the lines? This would be interesting to know. I just try and show you something different each time. So it's just trying to show, I think, although we did this last time, it's just trying to show sort of different variations and different ways of doing the same thing. That's the one amazing thing about stamps. There are so many techniques, and even with the same image, it's not just about even the colors you use. There's so many different techniques that you can do with a stamp that it's just that the options are endless. I'm just gonna check this pen's working okay. They are. The acrylic pens are fantastic. So I do want to just emphasize the little laughing eyes. See, but now they really pop. Now that we've lightened everything, they really pop. And I'm also just going to do it on the buttons because I think the buttons would have a line, which is cool. Now we have lost his thumb a little bit. So I am just going to come in. Yeah, it's a much softer look, isn't it? And I'm just going to come in and add a little bit more shadow where that's an interesting question Susan's asked. If I was to be gifted something, there's a few, do you know, I'd really like an encaustic art set. I know it's really different, but I've always wanted to try encaustic art. There we go. So see, by me I've just put the tiniest amount of blue shadow there. And by doing that, we can now see his full hand again. Thank you. Right, one last thing. We do need splatters for snow. So let me gaze around my room and hope that I shall see my acrylic ink. Aha. Yes. And you know what? I'm going to splatter over the whole thing. I'm not going to protect it too much because if it's snowing, it would snow over all of them. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't just snow behind them. So I'm going to try not to go too crazy, but I do kind of want it to be. It's fun to play with the wax. Oh, I see. I do really. The amount of times I've looked at starter kits. And I think as well about the encaustic art is it's not something I would do for work. So it's, you know, it's quite an interesting thing when you're like, because I was a crafter longer than I was a designer for craft. And so it kind of goes from it being your hobby to your job. And it's quite interesting. And so sometimes it's nice just to have something that's completely just for pleasure. Move that card out the way. Right. Let's get some splatters on here. I've got a very fine brush, might need to get a thicker one. It's cool. I want some slightly thicker ones as well. I'm going to get a thicker brush. That's giving a nice fine spray, but let's pretend there's a blizzard going on and get some chunkier ones. Cool. Well, that's us. That's us. And I managed in less than an hour. Wow. That's unusual. I hope you've enjoyed playing with this. I will try and put a picture up. As I said, if there are any JMC things that you've been thinking about, I am literally about to go and have a cup of tea, because I always need a cup of tea after a live, because all the talking, it just makes my throat really dry. So I'm going to have a cup of tea, and then with hubby's help, I'm going to get discount codes and whatnots ready. So it will be across the entire website. There's also going to be some bundles available. I think it's something like, they're mystery bundles, so it'll be like £5 for £20 worth of goodies and £10 for £50 worth of goodies. But that will be a surprise bundle. So there'll be those and just a discount on everything bar the workshop. If anyone's interested in the workshop, we only have 5 spaces left, which is crazy. I can't believe how quickly it's sold out. But that's, well, it's not sold out, but how quickly it's going. Anyway, thank you so much. Thanks for keeping my company. I'm not here next Monday, but I will be here the following Monday. And I believe by then we should have our next free digital stamp. So the first Friday of every month now, I will be creating a free digital stamp, but I'm actually going to be showing you everything that I'm doing in my sketchbook all the time. So you get a little peek of what I've been doing the past month in my sketchbook and a freebie to download. And I think it will be perfect for your winter makes. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Take care. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.